Go ahead and arrive in child's pose to begin. Bring your knees maybe a slight bit wider than your ribs, just to sink into your hips here. We'll be working a lot into that area. Nuzzle yourself in and just start to arrive into your breath. So maybe for the first time today, maybe for the first time in a while, you just start to drop in. See if you can soften and set a little bit through the sides of your neck, your upper shoulders. Relax through your jaw. Really listen. Deepen the breath in. And lengthen the breath out to match. And so slowly, just start to roll your forehead right and left on the mat. So you massage out your brow point. Just slowly start to waking up through your neck and your upper body. And the next time you gaze over to the left, stay there with your right cheek to the earth. Go ahead, thread your right arm underneath your body towards the left side of the room. And then notice if just that small transition affected the breath. And arrive back in. Let the inhale spread across your upper back. And draw your right arm up to meet your left arm back through center. Forehead to the earth. And then take it to the other side. Left arm threads underneath your body. Soften your left ear to the mat. So we'll move a bit slower today and just use that as an opportunity to really take up space in each shape. Notice what's happening and then notice how the breath travels. Take your left arm forward to meet your right arm, child's pose, forehead to the mat. And take just a few more breaths here. Spread your fingers nice and wide onto the mat and walk your hands further forward so you almost find this down dog length for your arms as you press the ground away. And then from the heels of your palms, drag yourself forward to your hands and your knees. All the way up, tabletop. Spread your fingers wide onto the mat. As you inhale, let your belly fall. Gaze up towards the sky. Soften into your elbows so you slide your shoulders back. Good. As you exhale, press the ground away. Press to the tops of your feet to dome your back body. Good. Inhale, belly falls. Heart threads forward. Soften your elbows. Exhale, press the ground away. Round in, cat pose. Good. One more together. Breathe in. Belly falls. Heart lifts. Exhale, round. Ground through the tops of your feet. And then take a few more rounds on your own. If you'd like to strengthen out your wrists, you can tent up onto your fingertips. If you'd like to stretch your wrists, then you can flip your palms so your fingers face your knees. And just start to find that connection, breath to movement. So let everything else, all of the external buzz, just sort of wash away. Right. Over the next few rounds of breath, make your way to your first downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. When you're ready, curling your toes, lifting your hips, and then when you arrive, you don't have to stop the movement. So you might pedal out through your legs a little bit, bending into one knee and then the other. And really find length through your spine here. You shift your tailbone up and back. And actively press the ground away. And keep that rhythm, breath in and breath out. Slowly make your way back to stillness. So you inhale, send your right leg up and back behind you. Step your right foot in between your hands. Lower your left knee down to the ground. Reach both arms up towards the sky, low crescent lunge. Good. If you need extra cushion, then you can double over your mat underneath your left knee. Let your hips sink down, but lift your heart up as you breathe in. Good. Slide your shoulders down your back and then soften out through your jaw. One more breath in. As you exhale, release your hands to the earth, half splits. Sit halfway back, lengthen out your right leg, and then flex your toes actively towards your shin. Can you carve your outer right hip towards the back of the room? And then as you breathe in, lengthen up halfway. And as you exhale, fold down. On the next inhale, re-bend into your right leg, curl your left toes, lift your left knee. Take your right arm towards the sky and twist as you lean back. Good. So find almost a micro back bend here as you roll your right rib cage behind you. Good. Take the crown of your head forward. Now curl your right arm overhead towards the front of the room, palm facing down. Good. From here, Skandasana. Crawl your way over to your back left foot. Lengthen your right leg. Flex your right toes towards the sky. Good. And so you might use your block here underneath your hips or underneath your hands for a little length. This is still early. Good. Lift the back of your heart up. Find your breath. Wide-legged forward fold. Lengthen both legs. Turn your toes in on one another. Pour your upper body to the middle of the mat. As you inhale, curl your hands over to your right foot, low lunge at the front of the mat. Downward facing dog, step back. Spread wide through your fingers so you re-arrive. And then nice and slow, almost like cat pose, round your way to plank. Ripple forward, shoulders over wrists. Good. Press the ground away. Slightly lift your thighs, kick out of your heels. Nice. As you inhale, shift forward. As slowly as you can, lower all the way down. Come to the tops of your feet, point your toes back. Baby cobra as you breathe in. Float your heart, root everything else down. Few breaths. And imagine you could drag yourself forward on the mat. So slide your shoulders back, but press your heart forward. One more breath in. Release down as you exhale. Curl your toes into the mat. As you inhale, press up to tabletop or plank. And down dog is the breath out. Send your hips high. Arrive on back to your breath. So there's always this idea of coming home each time we re-arrive in down dog. Restart, reset. As you inhale, send your left leg high. Step forward, nice and slow. Right knee lowers to the mat. Take both arms towards the sky, low crescent. Hips can sink down and forward, and really feel the inhale travel up for that little heart opener. Beautiful. On your exhale, half splits. Touch down, sit halfway back, lengthen your left leg, flex your toes towards your shins. So a lot of hip and hamstring opening. Let it be slow. There's no forcing. Rebend into your left leg, crawl your hands forward, curl your right toes, lift your right knee. As you breathe in, send your left arm towards the sky. And then in this twist, can you find the little heart opener? So lean back, draw your ears forward. Take your left arm overhead towards the front of the room. Skandasana, crawl over to your back right foot. Lengthen your left leg, flex your left toes towards the sky. Yeah, Skandasana is just a Sanskrit name that's got to be learned. There's no English word for it. Find length in your spine. Wide-legged forward fold. Step into both feet. Toes turn in. Head falls. Crawl your way over to your left foot. All 10 toes point forward. Downward facing dog. Step your way back. Re-arrive. Big breath in. Always followed by that breath out. Roll your way forward to plank as you breathe in. From here, lower all the way or halfway down. You choose what you're ready for. Cobra or up dog on the inhale. Roll your shoulders back. Press through the tops of your feet. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. Notice how the quality of your breath may have changed just from this short time. Come high to your tiptoes. And with the tiniest steps, walk your way to the top of the mat. Your knees can soften when your feet meet your hands. Pour over your legs. So really heavy your upper body down onto your thighs. As your head falls, let that lengthen the sides of your neck. Soften out through your jaw. With the breath, on the inhale, lengthen up halfway. Draw your heart forward. Exhale, fold down. The long spine, arms wide. Stand tall as you breathe in. Reach up, but root down through your feet. Good. Fold right back down to the mat as you exhale. Tailbone back, heart forward. Lengthen up halfway, breathe in. Fold down, breathe out. Plank pose, ground down through your hands, walk your feet back. Spread your fingers wide. As you inhale, shift forward. Elbows slide back for chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way down. Good. Up dog or cobra, breathe in, float your thighs. Downward facing dog, roll over your toes. 3 breaths. You've got time. Come high to your toes, walk your way forward to the top of the mat, baby steps. Halfway lengthen upon arrival, breathe in. Fold down as you breathe out. A little bit quicker. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Fold right back down to the earth as you exhale. Halfway lengthen, breath in. Plank pose, step back. The inhale shifts you forward. Chaturanga, elbows hug back. Up dog, breathe in full. Downward facing, breathe out, and then another 3 breaths. After your next exhale, come high to your toes, gaze forward. Step or lightly hop your feet to the top of the mat. Lengthen halfway up, breathe in. Fold down, breathe out. One more sun A together. Inhale, stand tall, reach up. Fold into you, exhale. Halfway lengthen, long spine. Step or hop, chaturanga. Up dog still gets a full inhale. Downward facing dog, breathe out. And you can take one breath here, you can take 7 breaths here. When you're ready, take a few more sun A's on your own. So trust yourself to be your teacher. You can take them slow, you can take them quick and fiery. Just focus on you and what you have going on. Let all of the external be irrelevant. Beautiful. Hear your breath. Next time you arrive in down dog, we'll hang out there. If you're already there and you'd like to take one more round, you've got time for that. Maybe you start to add a bit more fire, however you want to interpret that. From down dog, take a full breath in. Full breath out. Bring your feet together. Come high to your toes, gaze forward. Soften your knees, but keep your hips lifted. And as you inhale, pounce to the top of the mat. Land quietly. Good. Halfway lengthen. Breathe in. Fold. Breathe out. Wiggle your big toes to touch. Chair pose. Sit low into your legs. Reach both arms towards the sky. I want you to start to notice if each time you arrive in chair, it's almost like autopilot. Do you always go to the same depth? Do you always do the same thing? Rock the weight back. Maybe you find that as you do that, you can sit a bit lower. Yeah. Draw your front ribs back towards your spine. Fire up your breath. Full breath in. Exhale, fold down. Halfway lengthen, breathe in. Chaturanga, step or hop. Move like yourself and we'll meet in down dog. Full breaths when you arrive. As you inhale, send your right leg up and back behind you. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Reach both arms towards the sky. find the breath. From here, curl your left toes into the mat. Triangle pose. Take your right hand to your shin or the earth. Lengthen out both legs. Spiral your left heel to the ground. So it's a pose you've probably been to before. It might be a different way to get there. Find length in the right side of your body, and then you've got a block if you'd like to bring it below your right hand. Draw the crown of your head forward. Take your left arm overhead towards the front of the room. Skandasana and your back left leg. So crawl both hands to surround your left foot. Lengthen your right leg. Flex your right toes towards the sky. Yeah. Lengthen your heart up. Use the strength of your legs and the strength of your feet. Gaze to the top of the mat. Warrior 2. Step into your right foot. Yes. Bend into your right leg. Wing your arms out to a T. And then settle in through your breath. Keep your shoulders soft. Flip your right palm. Tip up and back as you breathe in. Peaceful warrior. Long inhale through the right side of your body. Cartwheel your hands to the earth. Chaturanga. Get low or step straight back to down dog. So you've always got options for vinyasas in between each side. Second side, just like that. Breathe your left leg high. Step forward, low crescent. Right knee to the earth, rise up. Curl your right toes into the mat. Triangle pose. Slide your left hand down your shin. Take your right arm towards the sky. Yeah, right heel spirals down. Then ears draw forward. Just like in chair, can you draw your front ribs back in towards your spine? But find this little twist as you open your heart towards the sky. Take your right arm overhead towards the front of the room. Skandasana. Crawl over to your right foot. Flex your left toes. Left leg is long. Gaze forward, top of the mat. Warrior 2. However you want to get there. Use the strength of your legs so you feel this rooted quality. Breathe in. And breathe out. Flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Tip it up and back as you inhale. Downward facing dog, however you want to travel. And let's add on from that. Inhale the right leg high. Low crescent. Step forward. Left knee roots. Rise up. Curl your back left toes. Triangle pose. Left heel to the mat. Maybe you lift up a bit higher, or maybe you plant the right hand to the ground. Find this twist from ground to sky. Lean back. Take your left arm overhead towards the front of the room. Skandasana. Crawl to your back left foot. Right toes flex up. Find your own way to travel in between the shapes, and in that way you can make this practice yours. Warrior 2. Step into the right foot. Beautiful. Tip it up and back as you breathe in. Peaceful warrior. Side angle lunge. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm towards the sky. And then notice if your shoulders tend to bunch up towards your ears. Can you slide them down your back? Nice and slow. Tip up and back. Peaceful warrior. Use your legs. Chaturanga or downward facing dog. Breathe in, send your left leg high. Low crescent, step forward, right knee roots as you rise up. Triangle pose, let the breath take you there. Right toes curl. Stay long in the left side of your body. Right arm overhead towards the front of the room. You know the way, Skandasana. Crawl to your back right foot. Flex your left toes skyward. Beautiful, big breath. Warrior 2, use your legs. Peaceful as you breathe in, tip it up and back. Side angle, Parsvakonasana, left arm down, right arm towards the sky. And again, slide your shoulders away from your ears. Make space along the sides of your neck. Let the inhale tip you up and back. Peaceful warrior, long breath in. You know the way home, chaturanga, as you exhale. Full breath in, upward facing. Down dog, re-arrive. Last time through this. Breathe the right leg high. Low crescent, take it forward. Curl your left toes. Triangle pose. Last time on the right side, Trikonasana. Swim the left arm overhead. Skandasana, crawl to your back foot. Right toes flex. Warrior 2. And can you still hear your breath? Peaceful warrior, breathe in. Side angle lunge. Maybe you take your right hand to the earth or to a block. Left arm towards the sky. Take your gaze down to the mat. Set your left hand down to the ground. Side plank on the left hand. Stack your right foot over your left foot. Yeah, take your right arm towards the sky and then lift the left hip up. All right, check it out. Float your right foot away from your left foot. Slowly step your right foot to the top of the mat. Half moon, launch off. Crawl your right hand forward. Lift your left heel away from the ground. You might bring a block below your right hand. Actively kick out of your floating heel. Kick, good. Yes. Can you find the twist that's happening right to left as you lean back? Good. Chair pose. Soften into both legs. Step your feet together. Rise up. Refine the breath. Draw your right knee towards your chest as you stand tall, balancing on your left foot. Hook your right peace fingers around your right big toe, and then as slowly as you can from your inner heel, begin to kick forward. But lengthen your spine up. So lengthen the spine comes before lengthen the right leg. Are you breathing? Float your right foot, reach both arms up towards the sky. Quick warrior 3, send your right foot back behind you as you reach both arms forward, or hands to your heart if that's better for your low back. Standing splits, release your hands to the earth, keep your right foot lifted as it is. And then you've got a bit of time here. If you'd like to play with some handstand hops, then soften into your left knee, but lift your left heel off the ground. Plant your hands down like you would for plank. So palms on the mat, spread your fingers wide. And then try not to switch your legs mid-air. Start to give little baby hops. Your left foot might only leave the ground half an inch at first. Think about leading through your right heel. Good. Trust yourself. It might even help to take almost a three-legged dog stance, so hopping that left foot further back and kicking from there. Yeah. Good. We'll meet in downward facing dog, however you want to travel there. Last time through this. Breathe the left leg high. Low crescent, step forward, right knee roots as you rise up. Curl your back toes, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Take the right arm overhead towards the front of the room. Skandasana, crawl to your back right foot, flex your left toes. Good. Breathe up. Warrior two, step into the front foot. Good. Tip it up and back for peaceful. Breathe in. Side angle, left arm down, right arm towards the sky. Try to press your left knee away from you. Take your gaze down to the mat. Right hand plants to the earth. Side plank. Switch your left foot on top of your right foot. Good. Draw your navel in. Lift your right hip. And then as you breathe in, float your left foot away from the ground. Slowly step to the top of the mat. Catch your breath. Half moon. Right heel floats away from the ground. Good. So balancing on the left leg. Actively kick through your floating foot. Good. Make your way to chair. Step your feet together. Soften into your knees. Arms to the sky. This time, left knee to your chest. Stand tall, balancing on the right foot. Hook your left peace fingers around your left big toe. And from your inner heel, begin to kick forward, but keep that long spine. Breath in. Breath out. Float your left leg, arms to the sky. Reach up. Pass through a warrior three. Send your left foot back. Standing splits. Lower your hands down to the earth. Good. Take at least a breath here. And then if you did so on the first side, maybe you play with some flight. So I will say it's a bit easier if you have some space between your hands and your right foot. Just to start, lift onto your right toes. Gaze slightly forward of your fingers. And then keeping that left leg as straight as you can. Stay kicking through your heel. And it really just comes down to trust. If you can smile while doing this, that's even better, regardless of the outcome. The downward facing dog. It's important to celebrate the little victories while still staying unattached to the results. Re-arrive into your breath. As you inhale, send your right leg up and back behind you. Step forward between your hands, high lunge. Stay off of your left heel as you rise up. Breathe big. Slide your hands to heart center, prayer. As you inhale, lengthen your heart into your thumbs. As you exhale, prayer twist. Hook your left elbow outside of your right knee. So you find almost this forward bend as you lean forward, but then can you pick the left thigh up? Yeah. Keep the twist. Revolve chair. Step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Good. Right away, notice if you can tuck your left knee back in line with your right knee. Chair pose, arms to sky. From here, spike up onto your toes. And as slowly as you can, start to lower into a squat, widening your knees on the way down. Good. Crow pose. Plant your hands down to the earth, shoulders width distance, spread your fingers wide. Nuzzle your knees to your upper outer arms. And as you start to shift forward, bend into your arms so you find this shelf to rest your shin bones on. Take your gaze forward. If you're new to this, maybe it's just one foot at a time that lifts. If you've been flying for a while, you might work on lengthening your arms by drawing your collarbones forward between your shoulders. Hop to chaturanga, step to down dog, however you want to move. And then re-arrive into your breath. Notice how it's changed. Notice how it stayed the same. Let the inhale send your left leg high. Step forward, crescent lunge, rise up. Can you still find this grounding through your feet? Prayer your hands. Breathe in, long spine. Take that length as you twist. Right elbow outside of your left knee or to the top of your left thigh. And then press your right forearm into your thigh to slide your shoulders down your back. Lift the right thigh up. Revolve chair. Step your right foot up to meet your left foot, but tuck your right knee back in line with your left. Chair pose, sit low, rise up. Last chair, I promise. Come high to your toes. Widen your knees as you lower down into a squat. And from here, curl your arms as far forward as you can, almost like child's pose. Let your head bow between your upper arms. Almost like you want to fit your upper body in between your knees. This is a traditional malasana. Notice if you can soften out through your jaw. Eventually your forearms might melt to the earth. Forward fold. Step into both feet. Lengthen your legs. Head hangs. You've got some options here. You might grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. You might step on your hands with your palms facing up, bringing your toes to the creases of your wrist for a gorilla. This is a good way to stretch out your wrists. Let the head be heavy, let the breath be full. Full inhales, full exhale. One at a time, release your hands if they're below your feet. Downward facing dog, just crawl your way long. From down dog, ripple your way to plank, roll forward. Slowly as you can, lower all the way down to the mat. Good. Interlace your fingers behind your head so your elbows point out. Yeah. And draw your feet together. You're not going to like this, but this is okay. As you inhale, lift the back of your head into your hands. Float your heart off of the ground. You can stay rooted through your legs, or you might float your feet. This is Makrasana. Use your back muscles. Good. Keep lifted through your chest. Wing your arms back towards your heels, and then lift up a little bit higher. Yeah, Shalabhasana variation. Full breath in. Exhale, release down to the earth. Take your right cheek to the mat. Just breathe into your upper back. Your arms can rest by your sides or out to a T. Open your arms out to a T, palms facing the mat. Get your arms as long as you can. And keep your right arm where it is. Slide your left hand below your left shoulder. Yeah, roll over to the right side of your body. Step your left foot to the ground behind you, wishbone pose. If you want, you can crawl your left fingers overhead, or you might take a half bind. Your practice isn't supposed to look like anybody else's, and it doesn't need to look like anybody else's. It doesn't even need to look the same day to day. So how can you alter these shapes that stay the same to fit what you're needing and what you're craving? Roll back onto your bellies. Take your left ear to the earth. Open your left arm out to a T. Slide your right hand below your right shoulder, and then take it to the other side. Spill to your left side. Right foot steps behind you. And take that arm variation with your right arm that you found on the first side. Slowly roll back. Child's pose. Hear your breath. Spread your fingers wide onto the mat. Slowly roll forward to your hands and your knees. Take a few rounds of cat-cow. It might not even resemble cat-cow. You might find more fluid movement, finding some side to side or some back and forward. But let the breath be at the front seat. Over the next few rounds of breath, make your way to downward facing dog. No rush. Send the right leg high as you breathe in. Pigeon pose, slide forward, right knee behind right wrist, lengthen your left leg back. Before you fold, press down through the top of your left foot. Let an inhale lengthen your chest up. The exhale pours you forward. Our feet, legs, and hips are physically and energetically associated with the first and second chakras, which are the elements of earth and water. Our ability to move slowly in a way that grounds us and connects us. But also has more fluidity and less rigidity. Fluidity to make this practice creative and unique for you. Find a seamlessness element or aspect between each breath. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And rewind your way to down dog, sending your right leg high. You can bend your knee and stack your hips, slowly unkinking, whatever way feels best for you. And when you're ready, step the right foot down. Take notice of any differences between the two sides. Let your inhale sweep your left leg high. Pigeon as you breathe out. Take it forward, left knee behind left wrist. Okay. Let there be a full breath in at the top. And exhale to spill forward. Let the exhale be a reminder to stay soft and really just submit yourself here. Drink in a full sip of air. Long breath out. Begin to rewind to your final downward facing. Taking any movements that you need to unkink on this side. When you're ready, step both feet down. Take a stroll to the top of your mat. Lower yourself down into a seat. Lengthen both legs forward. And you can soften your toes for this one. You don't have to flex them. As you inhale, reach up. Notice that length through your spine, and try to keep that length. Lead with your heart as you hinge forward. Let your chin fall in towards your chest. With each exhale, can you soften in a bit more? Inhale, back up. As you exhale, lower down onto your back. Bring the soles of your feet down into the mat. Press your palms down by your hips. Face your toes forward. Good. As you inhale, step into your feet. Lift your hips up towards the sky, bridge pose. Walk your shoulder blades a little bit closer together underneath you to prop up your heart. Send your inhales into your belly. On your next exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Wash your knees from side to side, massaging out your low back. Let your knees fall over to the right. Open your arms out to a T. And you can stay just like this here in a more subtle twist. Or if you'd like, you can scoot your hips closer towards the left side of the mat. And then curl your knees a little closer towards your right arm. But as you inhale, roll back through center. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat, letting your hips come back to the center. Drop both legs over to the left. Take your gaze over to the right. And then if you did so on the first side, scoot your hips over to the center of the mat and bunch your knees closer towards your left arm. So you inhale, roll back through center. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat, really letting your spine get long. Happy baby. Draw your knees outside of your arms. You can either grab onto the edges of your feet or onto your shins just below your ankle. You might find a little movement side to side, or you might stay still. See if you can lengthen your tailbone towards the front of the room, softening your low back down to the mat. As you're ready, make your way into Shavasana, lengthening your legs down one at a time. Let your arms fall out by your sides. Find this heavying of your back body into the earth. And know that the next moments are completely yours. Lengthen your next breath in. Equally long breath out. Make small movements to reawaken, maybe rolling your head side to side or stretching out through your fingers, your toes. One at a time, bring the soles of your feet down into the mat and pour over to the right side of your body, curling up into a little ball. Keeping your eyes closed, make your way up into any comfortable seat. And take your left hand over your physical heart and tend your right fingertips to the earth beside you. This is Bhumisparsha Mudra, or the mudra of touching the earth. Mudra means gesture. Sit up nice and tall so you find this long stacking through your spine. And just re-arrive with a few deep breaths. Notice any energetic shifts that have occurred over the past hour. Notice which remain the same. Pray your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, the gesture of coming together. Thank you for getting onto your mat. Namaste.